Morning everyone, it's Audrey, Stitchy Witch 42. Getting myself set up to do my video this morning. I've got everything surrounding me so that I can talk about it. I had my phone set up on video and leaned over to start it and took a picture of myself because it was on photo, not video. Yeah, it's that kind of morning. So, last couple of weeks, what have I been doing? Well, my sister Patty sent me a text and she said, you have to go check out this show on YouTube. So I did. And I fell down a rabbit hole. It checked off all the boxes. There was gardening. It was British. And this episode, they were making a Halloween themed garden. Yeah. So I watched it and then I started watching all the others in random order. And the good thing is it's been motivating me to get out and get some stuff done in my yard. I was watching Jenny, Long Dog Stitcher, and she did a garden tour. Jenny, I have all the envy. You have a beautiful, beautiful yard. And someday I hope that mine is as beautiful as that. I like the cottage style gardens. And I have a couple areas in my yard that I think I've accomplished that. But then I also have a lot of areas that are not filled with anything. But this show, and the name of the show is Garden Rescue, if I didn't say that. This show is giving me some ideas on what to use and maybe how to get closer to accomplishing my goal. But you're not here to talk about gardening. You're here to talk about cross-stitching. And I have finishes. Finishes. Yeah. So, my last video, I talked about Deanna's cross-stitch pattern, Apothecary sign. And I told you all the beautiful colors that I was going to be using and how I was personalizing it to myself. And it is finished. This is my version of Apothecary sign. And she charted absolutely gorgeous colors for it. I switched them all up for me. I used Classic Colorworks Cauldron for the letters. And I meandered so that I could get a mottled look. And yeah, that's showing it up pretty good there. That it's not stripy, it's mottled. And this pattern makes it really easy to do that because most of the pieces are like 3 stitches wide. So as long as you stay in that 3-stitch range, you're doing good. But my A has an extra stitch and my Y has 2 extra stitches because I kind of got carried away. Oh well. The rest of the colors I used, DMC 779, 3826. I pulled those from 2 other patterns that I was working on, Wicked Plant and Scary One, which I will be showing. Then I used 3856 for the white on both of them, or all 4 of them, I should say. 796 for the cobalt blue. Look at that. Look at that. For the brown here, this is Gentle Arts Heirloom Gold. And on this one, I did the outline and then I went up the center. And again, if you look at it, you can see that it shows a mottled effect. If you hold a glass jar up to the light, you're not going to see a solid color. You're going to see different highlights of color with the sun coming through it. And that did that. And then there's this one, Absinthe. Oh my God, this color is gorgeous. And all the labels, I used Weeks Dye Work White Chocolate. And I fussy cut this so that I could get, there's a good way to look at it, so that I could get the labels to look like old faded labels. I had so much fun stitching this. Thank you, Deanna. Thank you so much. And she sent me a package. She sent me a package that had a book in it, a booklet in it. It had a couple of pamphlets in it. It had several postcards. It had some Apothecary label stickers and some lemon balm seed. I love lemon balm. My son gave me some years and years and years ago, and I have it planted out in my yard. You have to be careful with lemon balm. It's a member of the mint family, and it will spread like crazy. But anyway, she sent me this book, and I sat down one night and I was reading it because I like stuff like this. And I came to this page here, and here is a picture of a ceramic vase, and on it, it's painted, says leeches. On the other side, you have the text, and then you have the little side blurbs that are either something that they want to highlight or something that they don't want to put in the text because it'll get lost. And I was reading this. I have to share it with you. Bloodletting and leeching were popular medical therapies in the early 1800s. Leech farms in Britain met the high demand for these creatures, which were used for almost every health complaint. Headaches, fevers, infections, and even during childbirth. No one is putting a leech on the Vajayjay. No one is putting a leech on the Vajayjay. Just not happening. Mark looked at me when I'm sitting over here laughing, and he goes, "What's going on?" And I told him, and he goes, "Okay, good to know. No one is putting a leech on the Vajayjay." Thank you, Deanna. So, I finished this up. I found a frame at Goodwill. I found the perfect size frame at Goodwill for $2. This is a 4x12 frame. If it had been 4x12.5, it would have fit the letters a little bit better. As it is, it's really tight. I don't think that detracts from it at all. And for $2.99, I think it looks really, really good. Obviously, the piece of fabric I had was plenty big enough to do this. I started in the center, so I ended up cutting off 2 huge sections of the gray blob. But this is what you want to know what's happening with this. I was so tickled. I had 4 people contact me with their selfies showing that they had ordered Deanna's pattern, Apothecary sign. And so I put their names into the drawing for half of the gray blob. Last night, I asked Mark. I said, I have 4 people. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pick a number. He said 3. Diane Arp. Diane is one of our Pacific Northwest stitchers. And I don't think she's going to be at the meetup this Thursday because she just had surgery. Diane, I hope everything went well with your surgery. I know we've talked a little bit since then. I still hope everything goes good because I know what knee surgery is like. I will comment on yours. Send me your email or send me your address and I will get it sent off to you. And I look forward to seeing you up at Acorns and Threads in August. Okay? So, first finish, Apothecary sign. Second finish, Barbara Anna, a wicked plant. And yes, I stitched the spiders. I did. I am so tickled that everybody on the internet is aware of the fact that I don't like spiders, so that they comment in their videos and tell me not to look up because they're showing spider fabric, or they're out in their garden and they're picking up a spider, or I go into the Stitchers Coven and there's a post that says, "Spider alert, Audrey." It's okay. I don't like them. But I stitch them. I work 3 days a week. I work weekends and Wednesdays, so I refer to them as the W days. And I was sitting here late one night watching my new show, Garden Rescue, and I'm stitching, and I have a little TV table next to my chair, and I had my floss on it, and I saw the spider crawl across my floss. So I pushed the table away from me, and I got out of my chair, and I'm standing here, and I'm looking down at the table, and I can't see the spider. So I moved the floss buddy that my spider was in to see if I could make the spider move so I could see where it was at. And I couldn't see it. So I walked around the table and then I spotted it, the brown spider on the brown floss, which meant that I couldn't squish it because then I'd have spider guts on my floss, and I'm not doing spider guts on my floss. I'm just not. So I went into the kitchen and I got a tissue and I came out and I picked it up and did the heebie-jeebie dance from the living room to the bathroom to flush it down the toilet because I don't do spiders. But I stitched them. So you should be proud of me. I stitched 2 of the creepy things. Second finish. The next finish. Doing a stitch along with Vicky, Stitch and Button, and Gary from Sunshine Stitchers of Plum Street. Scary one. And I got a finish on this. I did one stitch along with Vicky a while back, and it was a small pattern, and it only took like 2.5 days to do. I finished it. She cried. I sent tissues. It became a thing. When she suggested we do the stitch along for this one, she suggested that we started it on May the 4th because that was my self-imposed deadline to finish my Alphonse Mucha, which is done. It's upstairs waiting for me to save up money to go to the framers. So she suggested that we start this on May the 4th. Be with you. Gary started his. I started mine. Vicky showed a piece of fabric with a needle in it. So I started mine with the trees, and I moved this way, and I came up and I did this part, and then I started working around the snake. And then I stopped stitching on it for about a week and a half, because I was waiting for her to post a picture. And she finally did. And when she did, she had gone the other direction. She'd started in the middle, and she had done the cauldron and the smoke. She used variegated floss, and I thought, oh, I like the way that looks. I really like the way that looks. I had found a package of floss. It was a new package of 30 skeins of floss at Goodwill. They're all variegated, all different colors, red, blue, green, purple, yellow, orange, and then a black and a gray combination. And I thought, I'll try that using the black and the gray for my smoke. But you know me, I have to play with the variegated floss. So I cut my piece, black on one end, black on the other end, and we had the dark gray going to the lighter gray to the dark gray to the black. I started the black down here, and I went up one side, and then I came down the other side, and when I got here, I had to do a fussy cut on my floss to get the dark gray to line up again to bring it down. But I like the way my smoke looks coming out of the cauldron. Now, Amy said that hers, not Amy, I'm sorry, Vicky said that hers is striped because she used toad's tongues in her cauldron, and then she posted a picture of a frog. I wouldn't trust any potion where they say they use toad tongues and then show you a frog. And sorry, Amy loves toads. Vicky's a bad witch, as opposed to me. I'm the good witch. So I had both of those done. And I posted my picture to Vicky as soon as I finished it. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning to let her know that I had it done. And then I posted it in the Stitchers Coven later on that day. And Gary posted his, so I think we finished right there neck and neck. I'm not sure where Vicky is at with hers, but you know, I'm not sending her tissues this time. I'm not. But since I had those 3 finishes, I only had 2 projects left that I was working on. My Halloween Gone Haunted by Michelle Inc., which is nowhere close to a finish, and Yoda. So I grabbed Yoda and I took a look at him and realized I didn't have very much left to finish him out. So he is now done and I think he looks fantastic. I realized I still had the words to do or do not. There is no try. And I had about that much of the black down at the bottom to finish. And then all I had were the green highlights to do. And then I got an idea and I contacted a friend and I asked her if she could finish Yoda for me. I'm not going to tell you my friend's name. I'm not going to tell you how he's going to be finished, but I am really, really excited about how he's going to be finished. Gosh, I can't wait. I can't wait. So later on this afternoon, he is getting mailed off on his trip to England to be finished. And I will show him when he gets back. So I am really, really excited about that. 4 finishes. 3 of them this past week. Which means I've only got Halloween Gone Haunted left to work on. And this is where I'm at on that. I am loving this. I am playing with the variegated floss to not have it be stripy. Just having a great time working on this. But I needed something new. So I went upstairs and I pulled out some patterns that I had set aside that I knew I wanted to be starting. And these are going to be my new starts. 2 of them are Barbara Anna, because I realized that I am really, really liking the Barbara Annas. So the first one is Spooky Tree. I saw this pattern on Valerie Stitching in the Barn. When she did her video of the bus tour of the different shops in Pennsylvania, she was panning through this one shop and I saw this finished and I just thought, I have to do that. So I went up to Acorns and Threads and with Janine and Lori's help, they figured out which pattern it was because all I could tell them was a stack and it had a pumpkin and a skeleton on it. The ladies up there are amazing because they take the least amount of information and they find it for you. So I have this all kitted up. I'm using all the called for DMC and I will be stitching it on Belfast Linen Vintage Country Mocha. So I think that that's going to look just fantastic on there. And I will be starting that this week. The next Barbara Anna piece. Warning, you should all be sitting down because this one should just about blow you away. You're going to go, who is this? And what did you do with Audrey? Because I'm starting a Christmas piece in July. Barbara Anna's Oh Christmas Tree. I like the way this looks. It's not over the top Christmassy. It's perfect for me. I picked up I filled in with the DMCs that I didn't have. And this one I'm going to stitch on Belfast Linen 32 count. The other one is also 32 count. This is natural. So I bought all the stuff, even including the DMC variegated flosses and the diamond. So those are the colors that I'm going to be using on this. Okay. And then the third one I started. I started it last night. A couple weeks ago, I went down to Starlight Stitchery to help Michelle Bendy when she did the Instagram sale of the patterns for Pamela and Amanda. And I had seen, they had posted this one on their video. If you don't know, Starlight Stitchery does have a YouTube channel, Starlight Stitchery, and they do shop updates. And they had shown this pattern. It is Tiny Modernist. I lost it. Oh my God. I lost the pattern. It's the Biscornu, the Phoenix Biscornu, and this is what I got stitched last night. The pattern shows it being stitched on, oh, I know where it's at. Natural Blonde here. Tiny Modernist, Phoenix Biscornu. The pattern shows it stitched on a white background, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. I decided to stitch mine on black. And yes, this is the top of the pattern. And yes, the Phoenix is upside down because when you turn them over, you see the Phoenix. This will be my second Biscornu. I did one last year as an exchange piece for the Faux Fling, and it didn't quite match up when I sewed it together, so I'm hoping to get some hints from Carrie and Stitches, and some help from Jolynn up at Acorns and Threads to make sure that I do this one right. But I love the colors on here. It just pops. And that's what I wanted. So, 4 finishes, 3 starts. Let me move some stuff around here. And I have some haul. I have no idea what's in my bag. This was the pattern that I got at Acorns and Threads a while back, designed by Beth Twist. If you go into Acorns and Threads, you can ask the ladies for this pattern. They will give it to you, and then you can personalize it, use whatever colors you want yourself, and it gives you the alphabet so that you can put your Instagram name on if you so desire. I made a bag out of it for putting my stash in. And this thing is full because I've been buying stuff. And I haven't been sharing stash because my videos have been running so long. So, get my mess organized here. And we're going to start in no particular order. Yeah. Alrighty then. Everyone, well, not everybody, certain people on Flosstube have been talking about Abby John's Top Knot Stitcher and having her little Instagram or Etsy store. So I went and bought one of the little bags, and I got it in blue. And then I got 2 needle minders. I got a full moon, and I got a time turner. Because Harry Potter. She sent along this. It's a Impressions by Karen. Beautiful neutral color. So I get to play with that. And then a couple of weeks ago, watching Helen D., who is one of my favorite ladies to watch, she showed some floss. And I had to have it simply because of the name. And one skein wouldn't do, so I got 3. This is Witch's Knickers. Can you see the variegation in that? Ship's Manor, Witch's Knickers. I don't know what I'll use it in, but it's Witch's Knickers. And it came in this cute little bag. So, yeah. Okay. Up at Acorns and Threads. In the restroom at Acorns and Threads, they have the wall covered with all the Mill Hill pamphlets so that when you're in there, you can still shop. And I do. This is one that I have looked at for a long, long time. And so I finally caved and purchased it. And of course, when I got it, I also had to pick up the next 3 hands-on designs. Apothecary shops, Scary Apothecary, Coffin Paint, Cackle Lozenges, and Cauldron Cleaner. So I have 6 of them now. I don't know when I'm going to start them. I have the other 3 on order. When I have them all, I'll sit down and figure out what I want to do with them. This is a pattern that Darlene, Team Darlene, one of our stitchers up at Pacific Northwest Stitchers, gave it to me. It's a Nessie Lynn's. It's Halloween. I like that. So that is right up my alley. And I have a plan for next year. So I'm looking for some smalls. And this one I got at Starlight Stitchery. It is Sue Ellis Designs Dark Shadows. So I have plans for these for next year. But I'm not telling you about it just yet because you have to wait. All right. A while back, I was watching Kitten Stitcher, and I saw this pattern, and I purchased it, and I showed it. Antique Locks and Keys. And Vicky, who I love to tease, but seriously, I do love her, she sent me this cute little card, and in it, she sent me some locks and keys. So those will definitely be embellishments on this one when I get it done. And she also sent me, what are these called? Yeah. Thread drops. That's it. Blonde. It's natural. It's natural. She also sent me a heart because she loves me. She said that she loves me. I have evidence. And the other 2 things I bought when I was up kitting up my 3 projects last Friday at Acorns and Threads, I was looking at the fabrics and I picked out 3 for Spooky Tree. And the 2 that I chose not to use for that project, I ended up buying anyway. So I have a 28 count. The 28 count it's a PTP linen in Ale. And then I also got a 32 count PTP linen in Heartland. But I think both of those are fantastic neutrals, and one cannot have enough fabric stash so that you can start the projects when you need to start the projects. Okay. I think that I have done everything in my notes that I wanted to. Talked about all the stuff that I wanted to. And this video has actually gone faster than I thought it would. So I am going to end it here. Diane, I will comment on your comment. I know you have my email address. Send me your address and I will get gray blob sent off to you wherever I put the gray blob, because I'm losing things today. I will send you your half of the gray blob. I think I might include the absinthe with it. Whether you use it or not doesn't matter, but it's so pretty. Michelle Marr, Romantic Tangle, had commented on my video that absinthe would be the perfect color for a poison apple. Yeah, it would. So I'm going to send the fabric. I'm going to send the absinthe. I'll probably include one of the postcards from Deanna, simply because Deanna is also doing a giveaway for her pattern on Instagram. So if you've ordered her pattern, go check out her Instagram, sign up for that, and buy the pattern. Help her support her museum. This community is absolutely fantastic. There are so many wonderful people that are doing so many wonderful things to help each other out, to support each other, to uplift each other. All the photos on Instagram of people showing someone else's favorite photo. I haven't done that because I don't know how. I'm just not tech savvy. That's why you get a one-shot video and you get what you get with all the boo-boos and everything else. I have been watching Flosstube. I haven't totally gone to the gardening show, but there's some good stuff on that show. I mean, there's some really, really good ideas. Garden Rescue. British gardening. Yeah. And one of the gardeners, his name is Harry, and he kind of sort of looks like Harry Potter. Seriously. So I don't know. Anyway, I have been watching some of the videos. Last night I watched a couple of the ones about StitchCon. Leanne, Stitching in the Heartland, Homeland, Homefront. I'm so good with names. She showed the brag table there, and oh my God, the pieces that were there are just absolutely gorgeous. And I watched Sunshine Stitchers with their little video of their time there, and I know that there will be more later on today and throughout the week, and I can't wait to watch them. I have a stitching weekend coming up with some friends in August, and then I don't get to go to a retreat until Fall Fling at Acorns and Threads until the first weekend of November. So yeah, I have the envy for that too, because stitching with other people who love to stitch is a good thing. This Thursday is the 4th of July. Acorns and Threads is going to be open from 10 to 2 so that we can have our meetup up there from 10 to 2 this time, not our usual time. So come on up. I know that we are expecting a couple of new people, because in Pacific Northwest Stitchers Facebook group, a couple people have said that they are going to be coming for the first time, and I know we're expecting a gentleman. So yeah, that's exciting. Anyway, I hope everybody gets to stitch all the things, do all the things, be kind to people, uplift people, support people. Live long and stitch on, my friends. Bye.